Hello, and welcome back, most illustrious members of the Detail. Guys, gals, and N-Pals, monarchs of any, all, or no genders. I am your host, D, also known as MtF DOOM on Marvel Snap. I am front-loading it. Here, you can see the deck list. This is actually going to be bad for my metrics from everything everyone says, but I'm just doing it. If you want to just copy this list and then click off the video, God damn it, fine. You go ahead and do that. But if you want a deck tech on this and then some gameplay highlights, I'll see you after the intro. As always, a big thank you to everyone who does stick around for most of the video. A big thank you. Subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff goes a long way. You're helping a small creator and it costs you nothing in the process. So I'm gonna throw the stats up on the screen right now. Here's them. That's them. I'm doing this in my editing software. You could tell because my little avatar is hanging over it. That's very fancy. So as you can see from that pop-up, the win rate, the cube rate, and the sample size are all reasonable. Sometimes I say, like, you know, especially for Bruise Day decks, there's not a lot of data behind them. Obviously, less than 100 games is still, you know, prone to error one way or another, but I feel like at this point, having climbed, 6 ranks with this deck, up to 123 is where I capped out, using this exact list over this many games. I think that those results mean something, right? I think that those results sort of point to this deck being a reasonable pick. So the deck tech, as it were, is that this is a Zabu Darkhawk deck. End of tech. No, we're playing Darkhawk Zabu stuff, right? The other way that you can go about playing Silver Samurai. Oh, who, by the way, 4/5. On reveal, each player discards the lowest power card from their hand. I wanna, if you're wondering my thoughts on Silver Samurai as a game piece itself, I think that this card is going to be this deck is really fun. This deck is really fun. I think Silver Samurai is probably going to be an okay card. There's a couple different ways to build with it. I like this one more than what I've seen some other content creators doing, and we can kind of get into other ways of building it. But the way that we're doing it, the reason this is called the Rogue Ronin, is because we are using the Samurai to summon goblins for our opponent, right? These will almost always, I mean, they'll always have the lowest power of the cards in your hand, right? Either of the goblins is always going to win win that race to the bottom. Like the fucking American economy. Got him. This video is going to do really well. I can already tell. You're going to pitch one of your goblins with Silver Samurai, and you're going to get it back with Ghost Rider, and you're just going to get, like, a little bit of value out of it. The other card that you're going to hit, you know, if you don't have either Goblin, you're almost universally going to have Darkhawk, which is another really good hit to get back with Ghost Rider. Because we're playing Zabu, some of the things we can do is on turn 6 actually play Samurai and then Ghost Rider, pitching pitching one of our cards, immediately getting it back. You know, if it's like a hobgoblin, that's kind of like a back-breaking play for most opponents. In general, the other thing this deck has going for it is that we get to play armor. And when you get to play armor as both a card that protects your biggest threat, and as a card that it actually protects our 3 biggest threats, which are the goblins and the Darkhawk, the 2 goblins and the 1 Darkhawk. Because if your opponent is destroyed, the goblins get notably worse, which is really why goblins haven't been seeing play in the meta, I think. Because in general, as you get better, as you're climbing up the ranks and you're getting, you know, you're playing against opponents that are making more rational decisions, most of them do not see the goblins coming. And most of them do not fill lanes before turn 6, because that's one of the first things you learn is like, oh, as soon as you fill a lane, you can't add any more cards there, and your opponent has a much easier time mathing out whether or not they can beat you. So the goblins become way, way less risky. Oh my god, I'm fucking up. The goblins become way less risky when you are playing against opponents with that mindset. which is most opponents as you start to get further into pool 3 and further up the ladder. So that's it, right? Captain Marvel and Jeff are just good includes. I don't really think I need a deck tech for the rest of it. Yes, if you don't have Jeff, Black Bolt could be good, right? Because you want another stature hit some of the time. I haven't really found myself wanting like Black Bolt in general. I don't really like the stature Black Bolt deck to begin with a lot of the time. I think it limits your turn 5. It narrows it down too much for my liking. I really like when we have Zabu out and we're able to go like on turn 5 Captain Marvel plus Jeff, and it's just like, how the fuck does your opponent play around? your power could go anywhere. Yeah, you technically put it in one lane, but who's to say it's gonna stay there, motherfucker? I think Black Bolt is fine, but you know, I'm not a huge fan. Some other includes would be Iron Man is like pretty good in the same way Darkhawk is good, in that he's like usually going to be the hit on Silver Samurai if you don't have either of the goblins, right? Like you have 0 power, like fucking cool. That's a good hit. It's a great reanimation target. If anything, we're a little sad some of the time to play Green Goblin off the Ghost Rider because it doesn't feel like you got enough value. But honestly, going turn 2 armor into turn 3 Green Goblin can just ruin certain decks' whole game plan. Like carte blanche, they have no outs now, and that feels really good as a fucking Goblin enjoyer. That's it. We're gonna get into some highlights. I will see you at the outro. Enjoy them, and I will thank you again. Okay, so in general, Asgard is pretty good for our deck. We have Captain Marvel and Jeff are both, you know, ways for us to put power into the... Oh, what does Moon Knight do again? Just random discard? So much worse than Silver SammerGuy. Alright, I think I'm priced into doing this. We got the Goblin. We'll be able to reanimate it at our discretion. It looks like they're probably also on a Silver Samurai deck. Yeah. They're doing the what's his name? Regis deck? I think it's Regis put the one they're doing out. We also have Prio, so they can't like disrupt us with a Cosmo. We're gonna get the draws. They can have a Goblin. Oh, sick. Nothing. That's my favorite card for them to have gotten. I guess we'll just snap now. Like, yeah, yep, that's sweet. Zabu or armor right now. Jeff would be fine. All right, so none of those. And additionally, this makes our hand pretty bad in a way that would require multiple things to go right to be good. I mean, that's a start, though. Zabu is one of the things that we would want to go right. Oh, also, I really miss... let it be known, I really miss Shadow King. I really miss having a Shadow King in these fucking decks. Alright, we're looking for exactly Hobgoblin. That is the card we want, and we got it, which we love. We love to see it, okay? They no longer have a Spider-Man. We love to see that. Depending on what pops out of X-Mansion, we might snap. A Nebula and a Hulkbuster. I think that's snap happy. This deck is... The deck our opponent is playing is also kind of difficult for us to maneuver because they... Actually, you know what? If their Silk goes mid, they're in a really bad spot. It didn't, though. But it might. It still might. What I was saying is that there's always a chance their Silk is going to fill a lane that we were going to Hobgoblin. Alright, so that's, like, probably our best result possible. Because now they can't move that Silk back out. Like, it doesn't matter that they're going to win center. Because we have ways of making it really hard for them to win anywhere else. And no matter what we draw, we can play. So let's do that. So that adds that only adds 3 to the left. But it gives us the option to add 5 more with Captain Marvel. Although we'll have priority, and Captain Marvels don't chase each other around. That's like an important thing to keep in mind. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the best we can do. I don't know. They don't have a Zabu. And like, what? Sometimes do they play like Arrow or something? I don't think that beats us. Sometimes they play Magneto? I don't think they do. Some amount of the time it might be Spider-Man? Is that accurate? Alright, so it looks like we just won. Yep, we just won. There's no way around it. Fantastic. 4-cuber. We love it. Alright. Turn 1, discarding our own hobgoblin. So we just need to now hit Ghost Rider and we'll be very happy. They pitched Mr. Fantastic. I don't know if that means anything. But maybe Nidavellir is also another bad one for us. It's like our goblins have positive power in Nidavellir. Them not playing anything so far is pretty good. Oh, are they, what's his name? Surfer? It might be a Surfer deck. Yeah, I mean, that also makes Green Goblin kind of awkward. In a lot of ways. Alright, so they're not a Surfer deck. I don't know what they are. They still have 5 in hand. Oh my lord. I think this is good enough, although it does mean that if we draw a Ghost Rider, it gets worse. Maybe that's actually better. Oh, is this Spectrum? So, if it is Spectrum, it might be Spectrum Destroyer. And then they'll have to Destroyer, like, if they Destroyer left, they're up to 12. That's not enough. If they Destroyer right, then they lose everything in middle, so they're not doing that. If it is Spectrum, they're adding 5 to the right. Yeah, I think this does it. Yes, it did. It, in fact, did do it. Okay, cool. Nebula, hilariously, has been pretty good, like, as far as matchups go, right? Between Jeff and the Goblins, it's a great band name. Between Jeff and the Goblins, we have plays into the Nebula lane, like, repeatedly. Ooh. Is there... I mean, there's a non-zero chance that we can get that to work with Silver Samurai. Huh. We do that. Yeah. And then we'll Hobgoblin the hub next turn, I think. Depending on what we draw. Okay. Now, is it just MODOK? Probably, right? Which means we are slightly safe to hobgoblin. It's sort of unlikely that they fill that, because I think they have to MODOK. Okay, so they're not even doing that. So what do they have? Okay, they got 2 left. They only have 2 left in their fucking hand, though. It's not great for us. We need Green Goblin really wasn't it. We haven't pitched anything. All right, I mean, we still have a chance. We still genuinely do have a chance. They've only discarded 1 card. Like, MODOK now might do it, is kind of the problem. But oh, is that risky? I kind of think the most likely play is for them to MODOK left. Oh, was this a soul call? Chavez left. Okay, and that doesn't do it. Oh my god. Holy shit. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you if you've made it this far. Big appreciate. And if you have donated your time, effort, money, or sometimes all 3, then this thank you is for you specifically. The Tiny Ruby, A Frog in a Tent, Clips, Crayon Eater, Cole D, Polyhaze, Sartorius, Demisi, KD, Diston Nelson, and Matt Backey. This channel would not be possible without all of you. I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate anyone who makes it through and listens to me give the thanks, because, like, you know, you're in your own way contributing to them having been thanked by just being here through the credits. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all very soon.